our darling viewers. You are watching the Juvenile Corner, your space, my space, and the youth space right here on Ambo TV station. I am your host for today, Lino Nanyinza, and I'll be discussing a very interesting topic with a very important guest who you will see just after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, our darling viewers. So as I said, I have someone very important here on set with me. This person is an inspiration as well as a guide, known by many. Today with me here is Mr. Ngulule. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you, madam?
I'm very much fine.
Thank
So, sir, I'd like you to please say something about yourself. Introduce yourselves to the viewers.
Okay, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. And I think talking about myself, I'm just, a simple teacher and a part-time gospel artist.
Wow, we
Yes.
have an artist here on set. Simple but very interesting career of so many things. So our darling viewers, today we'll be discussing on a topic entitled culture and technology. A topic which has been confusing a lot of people nowadays, not just the youth, but as well as older people. So now, sir, my first question is, how can you differentiate the two? As in, what is the difference between culture and technology?
Okay, thank you so much for the timely question. And also, this question is a thought-provoking. And in order to answer it, first of all, we need to look at where technology is coming from, maybe a
Okay.
bit of, the history of that. So first of all, we had, the Stone Age period there. And then from there, we had civilization, whereby now people started making tools
Okay.
for agricultural purposes and all that. Then from there, we saw the coming in of industries now, industrialization there.
Okay.
From there, now, we could see that now we had a computer age,
Okay.
which is
Computer.
coupled with the same technological period we are in as at now. Yes, so now, in order to talk about technology is simply, the use of scientific knowledge for practical purposes.
Wow.
So it includes, turning or improving matter in order to change or improve human lives.
Okay.
Then on the other hand, when we look at culture is simply the way of life, the way people live. And, it includes the beliefs, customs, norms, and traditions, yes. So that is a distinction.
Wow, a teacher indeed, starting from the roots first and then taking us all the way up to the end. So now, sir, how has the coming of technology impacted our Zambian culture in a positive way?
Okay, in a positive way, we can see that, due to the coming of technology or due to advancement in technology, we could see that we're able to showcase our culture to the world over there.
Okay.
Our culture is being shown on the, um, global world.
Wow.
Today, using phones, you're able to advertise your culture. People come here, because they've seen what Zambia can offer, maybe on these social media platforms and all that. Then also using culture, we've seen that it has impacted our culture in a way that we're able to store and keep our cultural, heritage using the digital archives.
That's true.
Yes, whereby we're able to keep videos now.
Okay.
And also there's an improvement. There's an improvement. Maybe I'll talk of, there are some ceremonies which at the moment, because some chiefs are old, so they are using, modern transport.
Wow.
Yeah, in order to travel from one place to another.
Okay,
Yes.
so we've heard how that is impacting positively. So now, how is this in technology impacting our Zambian culture in a negative way?
Okay, in a negative way, first of all, we look at social isolation.
Okay.
Yes. Since we have our way of life, but because of technology, we are copying Western culture more. Therefore, there's social isolation. Instead of you chatting with parents at home,
Yes.
seated like the way we used to, at the moment, this person will be on phone, the other one will be on phone. So, you could see that there is no that much interaction. Then also there has been an increase in divorce cases.
Divorce.
Yes, our culture is not characterized by, having a huge number of divorces and all that, or divorce cases,
Yeah.
because it was for the purpose of eternity between the two people. But now we're able to see that for those who are in marriage, because of technology, because of simple phones, we are able to see, divorce cases each and every day. Then also, Western culture a bit has also, through technology, yes, has also contributed to the loss of cultural heritage.
Okay.
Yeah, at the moment, whenever we see people putting our culture into practice, we see them to be behind,
That's true.
or people who are primitive, unless those who are able to use technology and all that. But we're able to see that, back then people used to have, long lifespan, because we were following the teachings of our parents and all that. But because of technology, we are losing our cultural heritage.
Wow.
Yes, because we are learning things from the internet, from the phones and all that. So that is also has impacted us negatively.
Negatively.
Yes. Then
Okay.
also, sorry for that. And also the loss of, traditional skills.
Okay.
Before the coming of technology, people were using hands in order to come up with crafts. But in the meantime, only few are able to make doormats,
That's true.
lead mats and all that. We are losing that because of technology. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So those are some of the impacts.
Okay,
Yes.
so we've heard of the negative impacts. So now, sir, you talked about divorce cases due to technology. So I once heard.
Above the woman, so
Okay,
that, there will be respect.
okay.
Yes. And
So,
distinction.
girl, you who's watching, you have heard to say that concerning your education, then you can strive to be equal to a male. Study hard. So now, sir, is it safe to assume that culture is better than technology?
Okay, that's a very good question. Culture, is it okay to assume that culture is better than
Technology.
technology?
Yes.
What I can say is, both culture and technology have got a part which they play, in as far as we would want to make an improvement or preserve human lives. On the first hand, culture talks about preserving,
Preservation.
preservation, yes, preserving human lives.
Okay.
Yes, whereby teaching them norms, things which made their ancestors, their grandmothers, and their fathers to be where they are.
Ah,
On the other hand, technology is about improving matter. in order to make human lives better. So these two can have an interplay, or they can coexist.
Okay.
But saying, which one is better or which is better, I think that depends on the context. An individual, a group of people is looking at that particular, aspect, or that particular thing. I talked of Western culture having a upper hand
That's true.
in affecting our culture negatively through technology. But now, when we fuse in our culture, if our culture is strong enough, we'll be able, to guard or shield any other forms of foreign cultures which may come through technology. So these two can work together if we, the people, especially the young, the youths, embrace them equally.
Okay.
Yes, unless if we take technology to be our everything. Because what I've seen is, young people, that's why even peer pressure is so much strong at the moment, because young people are looking for a place outside the family circle. And we are using our friends through technology as how, or examples of how life should be.
Wow.
So you'd find that, at some extent, we are, we are just coming up with our own decisions because on TikTok there's this, there's that. So we think that our parents are phones
That's true.
or are found elsewhere. So if we blend them, if we blend technology and our culture, I think we can come up with something which can make our lives even better.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so something will make our lives better.
Yes.
So, this same blending or joining of culture